live on Kick YouTube and Rumble. It's the Hat and Beard Show. I'm James with the Hat and Beard Show. Good evening, everybody, and welcome for your nightly dose of NFL and Detroit Lions content. What do we have in store for you today? Well, brother Kyle Pitts is getting a PAID paid. And just a reminder that I am such a poor. Kyle Pitts agrees to a 3-year, $54 million deal. You know, just a little bit of pie. I mean, how do you expect a man to eat? How do you expect a tight end to eat? Huh? One of the most productive tight ends. Active in the NFL. Look, I mean, let's be honest. He's been stuck in Atlanta. A little underwhelming, but staying around, getting a bag. Gonna stay indoors. Maybe he can help. I don't know. Keep Tua Tagovailoa alive somehow on the field. Then we're gonna talk about the Detroit Lions and the NFC North. The NFL.com has NFC North in the Big 2-6 case for and against the Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings to win the division. It's, arguably the best division in football. The only division finishing with a plus 500 for all teams. Let's go, you guys. It is what it is. We'll see what they have. I don't know how deep we get into these guys here and these guys here. But these guys here, we're about these guys here. We'll see what they got to say about those guys there, huh? And then we'll look at some other guys down here. 6 stock down players from Detroit Lions OTA minicamps. Jeremy Reisman over at the Pride of Detroit. Well, to kind of go ahead and bookend what we talked about yesterday, some stock up players. Well, now we're going to be looking at some stock down players, right? Now, I perused it. I'm not going to lie. I perused it. I don't know how I feel about one of the names on this list. I've seen him stock up. I've seen him breakout. I've seen him stock down. I don't know, man. But the doctor's in session, Dr. Crane. We'll see what they say about Dr. Crane as well as some other players that it's like you didn't think about them. You didn't think about them until we talk about them today, tonight, this evening on the Hat and Beard Show. Live Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. right here at YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's the only way for you to get in and engage with the rest of Mad Hatter Nation. Mad Hatter Nation is, of course, the bastion of sanity and a sea of nonsense. And, yeah, that's the chat over at YouTube. We're 2 away from 900. Can I get a French fry? Can I get a French fry? Can we get them two of them? Boop, 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 boop. Boot me up in the algorithm. Hit that share button. Copy the link down on your clipboard or share it around with all of your friends. Hey, help us grow. Hit the like button, and if you want to take the thinking out of it for you, turn the notification bell on so that it'll just send you a push notification directly to your phone, unless you are Brent Supreme. There's a delay for some reason. It's like the NFL doesn't want Brent to see our content. Hey, if you guys are watching this afterwards and you have the notification bell turned on, comment down below. Are you seeing notifications? Is the NFL sending you notifications? We finally got our football back. Hey, guys. Hey, big round of applause. YouTube giving us our football back on the like button. You hit that, it's going to turn into a football, no longer the soccer bull. All right, guys, now that all that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
What's going on, everybody up there? We got Canada representing hot and heavy, dude. I do agree with you, Raw, though. I say, I don't care about these OTAs. Tell me about player development after 2 weeks in pads. I know it is all gas, but I got to do something, bud. What do you want to do? You want me to just like, you want me to show you how I mowed the lawn? You want me to talk about how to lay some thick stripes on your cool weather grass? Nah, dude, we're here to talk about lions, dude. But we'll, I know what you're saying, dude. I know what you're saying, dude. I know what you're saying. However, again, I did peruse it a little bit. One name, and I know it's the last segment, so you're just gonna stick around, dude. The last name, one of the last names on the list, I was like, fuck. Damn, dude, I forgot all about him. Fiddly D, what'll it be? Well, over in Atlanta, A-Town. Peace out, A-Town down. Let's go. Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts agrees to a 3-year, $54 million deal. What do you have for me, Mark Raymondani? Tight end Kyle Pitts and the Atlanta Falcons reached an agreement Tuesday on a 3-year, $54 million contract. That includes $36 million fully guaranteed. And I am such a poor. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter and NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. The $18 million average annual value of Pitt's deal makes him the NFL's third highest paid tight end behind San Francisco 49ers George Kittle with a cool $19.1 million and Arizona Cardinals tight end Drew Petzing forced me the ball the last 2 years. Trey McBride at $19 million, 0.1 off of the league leader. The agreement was negotiated. Nobody cares who it was negotiated by. I don't want to see that. The Falcons had used the franchise tag on Pitts for the big 2-6 at $15 million. But now that gets ripped up. The Falcons and Pitts had until July 15th to work out a long-term contract extension. Oh, well, getting a few more dollary dues in your old billfold there, my friend. He is now under contract with the Falcons through the 2028 season. His contract news comes just 3 weeks after the Falcons extended star wide receiver Drake London with a 4-year, $141 million deal. Man. And I'm like, yeah, gas is fluctuating 60 to 20 cents. Let's go. Atlanta will now turn its attention to upcoming All-Pro running back Bijan Mustard Robinson. Pitts, who is only somehow 25 years old but feels like he's been in the league for 52 years, was the second in the league in receptions with 88 and receiving yards with 900 among tight ends to go along with 5 touchdown catches in 2025. Not bad with who we had throwing him the ball, right? Last December, he had one of the greatest performances by a tight end in NFL history with 11 catches for 166 yards and 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, touchdowns against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pitts, with that outing, became the first tight end to reach at least 150 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game since Shannon Sharp in 1996. The Falcons drafted Pitts number 4 in 2021. A controversial selection at the time because tight ends do not normally get taken that high. He went on to have one of the greatest seasons ever for a rookie tight end. Pitts had 1,026 receiving yards, the first 1,000 receiving season for a tight end since Mike Ditka in 1961. Pitts was the first rookie tight end to make the Pro Bowl since, one of my, I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorites, Jeremy Shockey. In 2002. You guys remember Jeremy Shockey? I like Jeremy Shockey. What do you want me to say? Huh? I like Jeremy Shockey, dude. I enjoyed his play style. I thought it was fun. Real classic tight end. You know what I mean? Like, this is my style. Pitts was a Philadelphia native, dealt with injuries and inconsistency the next 3 seasons, not reaching 700 receiving yards in any of those before breaking out again last year. Keeping Pitts is another indication that the new Falcons regime, president of football Matt Ryan, coach Kevin Stefanski, and GM Ian Cunningham is trying to shore up the future by holding on the team's core base of skill players. Ryan was, of course, Pitt's quarterback during Pitt's rookie season in 2021, where again he went over 1,000 yards. The first to do that since tight end Mike Ditka. Yeah, remember, before he was the legendary coach, Mike Ditka played in the NFL, right? took the team dinosaur to the stadium. But hey, 1961. Let's go. Let's go. I'm not a hater, nor am I necessarily a fan of Kyle Pitts. I honestly kind of take it or leave it. I respect the body of work. I like the overall game of Kyle Pitts, but I'm not over here like standing for Kyle Pitts, right? I mean, I'm like, all right, whatever. Give me a healthy Sam Laporta. Let's go, because I'm very based when it comes to my Lions fandom. Let's go, you guys. Talk about the Detroit Lions. Talk about NFC North 2026. The case for against the Detroit Lions, guys. Do we want to talk about everybody else? I don't feel like talking about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what they got to say, though. The NFC North surprised no one when it flipped on its head in 2025. Well, surprised me. I thought we were going to kind of walk away with the division. There was at least one red-bearded asshole on the internet saying that the Lions were going to go undefeated. Well, we'll see how well that worked out. Egg. And here I am, standing in my driveway and my mailbox with egg. With egg. The topsy-turvy black and blue division saw the Chicago Bears leap from the cellar to the penthouse. Yeah, well, eventually, the chickens come home to roost. The Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings fell to the bottom levels. The NFC North was the NFL's only division with every team above 500 by season's end. Heading towards the Big 2-6 campaign, the division once again looks like the most complete crew in the conference. I could make the case that each division in the NFC has immensely improved. In the East, the Giants have fresh vibes under 100-year-old head coach John Harbaugh, and the Commies and Cowboys filled significant holes. Pause. We know Commies like to fill holes. Didn't know that the Cowboys were turning into a little Brokeback Mountain action over there. The South was already packed tightly, albeit with below 500 teams, and the Saints could very well leapfrog their three counterparts. Yup. Yeah, they very well could. And I could turn around and shit a gold brick. Well, the West sits as the likely best division in football with 3 legit Super Bowl contenders, but the presence of the rebuilding Cardinals makes it difficult to argue every team has a legitimate chance of swiping the crown. That brings us back to the North. For the North! Where it's fairly easy to make a case for each of the 4 clubs winning the division. Yeah, maybe. But check this out. The Bears, well, they suck. And soon they'll no longer be in Chicago. Ben Johnson is a butthole, and Giggle Williams sucks. So there, that's why the Bears won't win it. The Packers, they also suck. Josh Jacobs is a piece of shit, allegedly. I do think Jordan Love can sling the rock. I'm not gonna lie. Jordan Love's pretty good. Micah Parsons, well, he's out for quite a little bit there at the beginning of the year. So, the Packers going to be a little bit of needing the old referees to take a little papery do to make sure the refs or the games go a certain way for them. And, of course, the Vikings. I don't think Minnesota fans like the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings like playing for the Vikings. So, is there really any sense in wasting any gray matter right now on thinking about the Minnesota Vikings? We'll save that for season time. Right now, we want to talk about the Detroit Lions, the only legitimate contender for a Super Bowl. Okay, of all of the NFC North teams. Okay, let's be honest. We're gonna call balls and strikes, assholes and elbows. Okay, the Detroit Lions, all right. Dan Campbell. You can't. There's only one leader of men coaching an NFC North team, and that's old Dan Campbell and them gigantic balls. We also have an elite quarterback. We probably have the offensive player of the year in Jahmyr Gibbs. Jared Goff could very easily throw for over 5,000 yards and 52 touchdowns. And we all know that in the Big 2-6, it has been spoken, therefore it shall become. Aiden Hutchinson will set an NFL record with 26 sacks in the Big 2-6. Our defense will be elite. And this will be the final year of Calvin Shepard as he ascends to the ranks of head coach for any number of teams, but that will be later to be decided after we triumphantly storm the gates of NFL history and become Super Bowl champion Detroit Lions in the Big 2-6. We're the only legitimate contenders. Okay, everybody else is a fake, fraudulent, nonsensical bullshit organization. Okay, so that in mind, let's see what they have to say. The case for Detroit winning the division, no, Super Bowl. Okay. The Lions took a significant step backwards. Sans small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in Indiana. But the offensive core remains an explosive whirlwind when Jared Goff is properly protected. Yes, the play calling was an issue for much of last season. But the biggest problem was an offensive line that blocked like a paper doll for large stretches. Well, yes. Yes, and, of course, not having Kirby Joseph on a historic pace of interceptions. But whatever. The move of Penei Sewell to left tackle, the drafting of first-rounder Balake Miller, and the signing of Cade Mays should improve and provide an upgrade. If young guards Tater Ratledge and Mormon Oaks Christian Mahogany make strides, the blocking should significantly improve. Yes. I think significant. Season's end. The significantly will be an understatement. All right, that tasted and smelled like garlic. When Goff has time and the running game has holes, oh, baby, these Lions can roar. Amon-Ra St. Brown remains an uncontainable weapon who can get open with ease. Jamison Williams is coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and has provided more consistency to go along with game-breaking speed. Isaac Tesla, the T-Bird himself, showed flashes with some ridiculous grabs and could be a dynamic number 3 as he gets more snaps. If Sam Laporta returns healthy, they have a mismatched tight end who can give Goff an outlet. Right there, guys. Look, hey, those guys. 14, 16, that's 30. That's 3,000. Little 700. Little 700 right there. Little 700 right there. 44. Let's go. Can we get 600 yards out of any other players? If we can get 4,400 yards of receiving production out of them three guys right there, huh? TK85. Oh, TK85 with a couple. 100 yard, 100, 200 yards. Oh, now we're at 46. Who you calling? Gibbs? Gibbs with 500-600 yards? Oh, my good Lord. Jeez Louise. Jared Goff suddenly becomes the best quarterback in the NFL. Anoint him now, JG16 for MVP. Let's get after it. And then there's Jahmyr Gibbs. And then... Okay, and then, okay, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then, Jamison Williams, okay, and then, Isaac Tesla, okay, and then, Sam Laporta, okay, and then, the best running back in football. Jahmyr Gibbs, who is in line to see the bulk of carries after playing tandem with David Montgomery for the last 3 seasons, really? Are we going to call last season playing tandem with David Montgomery? Not if you were really paying attention. I think if you were really paying attention, especially in the Beard Show, we were calling for more David Montgomery! I needed more Monty! We needed it, right? Especially if you're going to talk about how porous our offensive line was. You know what I'm saying? At one point, I think I was calling for David Montgomery to be our starting left guard because things were so good, godly awful. Gibbs is in line for a Christian McCaffrey-type workload. The explosive playmaker boasts game-breaking speed whenever he touches the pigskin and as a weapon as a receiver. Increasing his reps will make the Lions' offense even more dangerous. If everything breaks right, Gibbs will be an Offensive Player of the Year candidate. On defense, the Lions added second-rounder Derek Moore on the edge. Yes, we did. Yes. Chat, can you let me know, what is your guys' honest expectations of Derek Moore? I mean, it's very early. Shout out Raw. It's very early. I don't think we're going to see very much of him. I don't know, man. Right now, I'm pretty telling you right now, one of them's going to be out there the majority of the snaps. And it sounds like we're getting a nice little spice of Tyler Lacey, right? We brought in a guy like a Peyton Turner. Let's not forget about the hammer. The hammer. The Egyptian magician. If he pairs with Aiden Hutchinson to provide a constant pressure, the Detroit defense can climb out of the doldrums. Give Dan Campbell a solid defense and better blocking on offense, and 2025's dip will be a blip on the radar. The Lions faced a first-place schedule a year ago and slipped amid O-line issues and defensive injuries. Falling to fourth in the NFC North gives Campbell's crew a benefit of playing an easier schedule this time around. Detroit can feasibly sprint to the top of the division before closing with 3 road division games in the last 4 weeks of the season. A little bamboo. Gonna make sure that none of you get in the playoffs. It's just gonna be Detroit going, eat our ass. Eat our Honolulu blue and silver ass. 3-1-3. Fuck all of you. I had no rhyme for that. The case against injuries to Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph could cloud the defensive operation. Branch's late season Achilles injury could keep him out into the season. It's not clear when or if Joseph's knee will fully heal. Those concerns, along with roller coaster play from the corner crew, including former first-round pick Terrion Arnold. That's a name we should maybe remember for later on, could lead to a year-long issues with the secondary. While the Lions tossed more bodies at finding Hutchinson's running mate, from Moore to Peyton Turner to DJ Wonnum, none is a sure thing. No, DJ Wonnum's going to be sweet. The defense could once again be feast or famine proposition in Detroit. It's one thing to believe the offensive line issues are fixed on paper, but they're fixed in reality. We won't truly know until the heat is fully provided. If the inexperienced middle collapses and the rookie right tackle struggles, the offense will be in the same fix as a year ago. Playmakers can't make plays if the offensive line becomes a sieve. Not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You are a delusional old bastard. And then there's the question of yet another new offensive coordinator. Lil Spud is the 4th OC under Dan Campbell in 6 seasons. 2 were Anthony Lynn and John Morton, and they didn't make it a full season before having play-calling duties and their booties stripped. Petzing has experience and is well-regarded. But what if Campbell simply can't find his next small PB Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor, in Indiana? I'm not too worried about it because Ben Johnson's a fraud. We have Lil Spud and the biggest move, Mike Kafka. Our offensive play calling, scheme design, week-to-week preparation, it's going to be out of this world, brother. I'm telling you right now, brother. Our offense is going to be top notch. It's going to be just fine. Don't you worry about our offensive line. It's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine, you guys. Don't you worry about us. I think everybody else they need to worry about themselves before they start pointing fingers and worry about the Detroit Lions. And sir, we're going to be just fine. Okay. Every move we made was calculated this year. All right. We have redundancies upon redundancies. We're going to be just fine. You go ahead and worry about your own problems now. All right. You go ahead and don't you worry about what's going on over here at Allen Park now. All right. You just go ahead and worry about, what Giga Willie's going to be doing with his fat, jiggly, wiggly ass being the Madden curse. You know what I'm saying? Now how I'm feeling. How do we feel, chat? How we doing? What's going on, you guys? Oh, damn, we're going bananas. Let's go here. What's up, Detroit Sports Talk? Laporte is pretty likely to be the tight end that hits 20. Oh, shit. Let's get it, dude. What's up, Motown? How you doing, man? Cowgirl's always been Brokeback Mountain. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Ahmad Hassanin has a goal this summer, and that's to make history. But if he's able to earn a spot in the Lions 50-man. Dude, the thing, I do like that they're moving Hassanin over to the big end position. I think that with his transformation this offseason, that's going to bode well better for his play style. And what I think we need to wrap our heads around is that I would be more surprised if Derek Moore is running out on the field at the same time as Aiden Hutchinson. Right now, I kind of feel like we're going to see if Hutch is off the field, Moore is on the field for 6 plays a game. You know what I'm saying? I think Derek Moore, his role is to absorb as much as possible. The big defensive end battle really comes down to that heavy end, right? Right now, I think it's pretty, at least in my mind, pretty solid that it's going to be Wonnum there 60% of the time, right? So then you got to look at the battle down underneath it. Could it be Hassanin? Could it be Lacey? Could you be looking at Hassanin and Lacey? Where does maybe Peyton Turner fall into this? We also have guys on roster. Levi Onwuzurike, you know what I'm saying? Mekhi Wingu, for whatever you want to classify him as. You know what I'm saying? There are battles underneath the surface of the starters, I am rooting for Ahmed Hassanin, right? Who wouldn't? You gotta first of all, gentlemen, you always root for the underdog. You always root for the underdog. As Detroit Lions fans, it is ingrained in you. It is in our blood to root for the underdog, right? First and foremost. Secondly, you gotta love the grit, the work ethic, the getting knocked down, taking the injury settlement, coming back, grinding work, and taking this offseason. And who did he want to work with? He went to Aiden Hutchinson and said, who did you do? Who put you where you are now? And Hutch said, that guy. And he said, Raj. See you in a few months. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying? And he straight went Goku on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just went into the hyperbolic chamber and it was just like training. You know what I'm saying, bro? Dude. In September, and eventually become the first Egyptian player in NFL regular season game. Let's go, dude. He wants more to watch me play house, and he says second about his Boise State with an emotional phone call. Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up. Vikings would be the second best team in the North this year if they start JJ. They had some decent offseason moves. Of course, they need an O-line. You might not be wrong, Motown. I think Chicago is a paper tiger. I think they're grossly overrated, overinflated, and overhyped, dude. I think the Packers, look, I got to be honest, dude. If you really look at the numbers, Jordan Love's pretty good, dude. Jordan Love's actually a pretty talented quarterback, and he actually has a really talented arm. I think you're going to have a very deficient defense, minus now not only Rashawn Gary, but also it was Rashawn Gary, right? Yeah. But also Micah Parsons missing the first third of the season. Probably won't be back to full speed till week 10, right? Josh Jacobs nonsense, tomfoolery, and chicanery. I don't think the Packers are in the position that everybody wants to just go ahead and anoint their ass. You want to go ahead and crown their ass? Go ahead and crown their ass. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just baloney, malarkey, and tomfoolery. I think that's a fool's errand. I think the Packers are fool's gold along with Chicago. You could be onto something with Minnesota. I don't believe in their quarterback room. I don't think JJ's the answer, and I've never liked Kyler Murray. That being said, they have one of the better receivers in the NFL. But they don't have the talent like we have, dude. Top to bottom. No team in the North has the talent like we have, dude. No team can match up with us, dude. No team can match up with us. You know what I'm saying? Is not doing great. Dude, appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. There's a battle that we haven't even talked about. Juice Scrubs versus Christian Mahogany. Detroit Sports Talk. Actually, imagine Matt Patricia's OC for the Lions. Awful. Oh, dude, that would be terrible. To your point, though, we have, here's the thing. I have kind of batted around the idea of the battle between Juice Scruggs and Christian Mahogany. And if you just hang on here, we might talk about a little bit of that. Maybe a little bit. They might pop up, at least be a point of conversation. Because look, Juice Scruggs is a player who the Lions did like in the draft process, right? He's a guy who has guard and center experience at the NFL. He's a guy who, by all accounts, maybe just needs that change of scenery. Personally, I like Christian Mahogany. Okay? I'm rooting for him, right? That being said, do I think there is a world where week 1, not injury related, simply based on performance, simply based on coaching decision, that the Lions week 1 offensive line is left to right Sewell, Scruggs, Mays, Ratledge, Miller? Yeah, I do think there's a strong possibility for that. Do I think that's a likely outcome? I think we're looking at more of like a 60-40 right now. I do think Mahogany has the edge. He's been there. He's already been in-house, knows the system, theoretically. The changes of the offensive coordinator. Well, that's a good point. Didn't think about that. I do think, though, that Mahogany will eventually prevail. I think that the Scruggs mentality, why he's getting some run with the ones in camp right now, is Juice Scruggs is going to play that Graham Glasgow role. Your backup center and your backup guard. Your 1A or 1B to both of those positions. You know what I mean? So you'll have it's that Swiss Army knife style player that the Lions like to have. How many positions can you play? How cross-trained are you? And I think Juice Scruggs fits that mold of what the Lions have traditionally looked to do with that interior left, center, and right guard spots. Is have a guy who can come in and plug and play in lieu of the centers at either one of the starters at either one of those 3 positions. And I think that Juice Scruggs fits that, at least for right now, what we've seen projected left guard play. The one thing that we haven't really considered, because he hasn't been available, is the free agent acquisition of Ben Bartch. Where does Ben Bartch come into all this? Can he compete with his 1 foot? How much hopping around is he going to be able to do? I don't know. He lost his foot. Maybe we can find it. But if Ben Bartch comes in, and maybe Ben Bartch comes in and just straight turns into Kevin Zeitler. You know what I'm saying? Then it's all a moot point. You know what I mean, dude? It'll be an interesting competition to see battle out. I think that watching the left guard can't battle, the right tackle can't battle will be fun, although I don't think it's going to be as... I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing more network slop television, very predictable of what the outcome is going to be than, high drama, writing of early season Sopranos. You know what I mean? I think we're all pretty sure. I'm willing to bet that what the outcome is going to be Sewell, Mahogany, Mays, Ratledge, Miller, week 1 through week 18. That's pretty much what my feeling is on it. That's what I'm kind of rooting for. I'm being very biased in that. But to your point, I do think Juice Scruggs has a better than a puncher's chance at usurping Christian Mahogany for that left guard spot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up, Kane? How you doing, man? The Lions players cross-trained, Vikings players cross-dress. It just comes in and drops some legendary shit, dude. Here's the battle for our number 1 and 2 cornerback spot. I don't want TA or Reed having to sure spot. None of them has ever shown they are one. Every cornerback spot is a battle. I think you were onto something with TA, but Reed's our number 1. DJ Reed's our starting corner, our number 1 corner. By all accounts, he's back up to speed. I think he was playing like it early on last year. That hamstring injury is going to be a season-long thing. I said it at the time of injury. I say at every training camp that you don't want to see soft tissue injuries, specifically hamstrings. He couldn't even have happen in training camp. Homie had to have happen in the middle of the season. gonna butt fuck you either way you want to split it. You know what I'm saying? I do think Reed comes back this year, shows us exactly what he's capable of, exactly why we paid him what we paid him, and, earn his third year of the 3-year contract. But if Reed doesn't perform, dude, cut his sorry ass at the end of next year, or at the end of this year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Terrion Arnold, bro. I really don't. I'm starting to get a little, antsy in the pantsy over here, bud. Like, what have you done for me lately? Availability is the best ability, right? Well, let's talk about it here. Earlier this week, we broke down the 9 biggest wieners from Detroit Lions, OTAs, and minicamp. Unfortunately, everyone can't be wieners. The following list of 6 players whom I believe saw their stock fall over the past month are far from in trouble. That's relatively little on the line in the spring, but for various reasons, amount of reps, what coaches are saying, competition at the position, or injury, my expectations for these players have slightly dropped. Running back, Sione Vaki. Let's get one thing clear here. The Lions absolutely love Vaki as a 4-core special team player. I would be absolutely shocked if he didn't make the team. He continues to rep with the first team special teams unit and holds the valuable personal protector position on punt coverage. Detroit views him as one of the best special teams players on the roster, if not in the entire league. Boy, I'm glad we spent a draft pick on a special teams player. However, Lions coach Dan Campbell was pretty blunt when it comes to where Vaki stands as a running back after 2 injury-filled seasons. The running back position is a little raw. Yes, he's been there. He did a little bit in college. This is year 3, but he hasn't played running back. Not that much. And a lot of it is injury, Campbell said. Unless Vaki can prove himself more polished running back, Detroit may be forced to keep a 4th running back like my guy, dude, Jacob Sailors, to provide a little more insurance behind the Lions' top 2 backs. Guard Miles Frazier. See, this is the guy I was talking about. I've seen him, seen his stock go up. We've seen him called a breakout candidate. And now we see him as a stock down guy. Nothing Frazier did this spring caused his stock to drop. But I did find it quite surprising that he didn't have much of any reps with the first team offense. Mormon Oaks held down that left guard position for nearly all of OTAs and minicamp. And when it wasn't him, shout out, it was Juice Scruggs. While Campbell said that the left guard position is wide open, he sounded more excited about the chance to throw Ben Barch into the competition when healthy, leaving Frazier as pretty big underdog to win a starting spot, in my opinion. Yes, I think starting spot is a big ask of Miles Frazier. On roster, that's something I can get behind. Starting, yeah, not so wild about that over here. I'm not. If Miles Frazier's starting at left guard, either he is taking like a Jared Velderian size step forward in his production, or everybody is in the mash tent, which is hopefully not the situation that we get into. Wide receiver Dominic Lovett. You don't love it. No one stood to benefit from the unfortunate ACL tear of Kendrick Law, the sheriff, more than Dominic Lovett. But the second-year receiver continued to struggle in practice. Shit. Drops remain a pretty significant problem for Lovett. Dude, if you're going to be a receiver, you gotta catch the ball. It's kind of like your like main job is to catch the ball. And on top of that, he hasn't established himself as a special teamer yet. Okay. So what are you doing here, bud? He's rarely repping with the returners and still has a ton to prove as a gunner. During one particular set of special teams drills, Lovett was repping as the 3rd team gunner alongside undrafted free agent Deshaun Rucker. Behind Khalil Dorsey, Rock Ya-Sin, Enos the Penis, Rake Straw, Breaks Like a Straw, and Nick Whiteside, way buried down the list. Not the guy we want to see on this list, Edge Ahmed Hassanin. Again, let me preface this by saying nothing Hassanin has done this offseason can be attributed to his decline in stock. Rather, he's been wildly praised for putting in the work to add some weight and strength to his game, even using Aiden Hutchinson's trainer to help transform his body. Yes, that's right, or transform and roll out. However, the Lions are apparently moving Hassanin from the rush end position to the big end position. Get your big ass over there now, huh? Hold the end. Hold the door. Quote, we're transitioning him from the rush position, which we got a lot of players, to the big end position. Defensive line coach Casey Rogers said, with his size and stuff, you know what? He's been a pleasant surprise this spring. As we discussed on this week's pod, that's going to be a tough transition for Hassanin. I don't doubt the effort and work he'll put in, but in order to play the big end position, you need to set the edge in the run game. And typically the Lions have liked those players to be around, 300 pounds. Hassanin, even bulking up this offseason, is just 275 pounds. I think he can contend with that. Honestly, if you start to put too much more of that on Hassanin, you're really going to start to eat into his mobility. I don't think his frame can sustain a 300 pounds and still be as athletic as he is, The player he'll be competing against are Tyler Lacey at 300 pounds, Levi Onwuzurike at 304 pounds, and Tyree West, a little bit lighter at 290 pounds, among others. Perhaps that's an easier path than trying to win a spot alongside Hutchinson, Wanham, Derek Moore, and Peyton Turner, but it's yet another hurdle for Hassanin to jump. And if you want him to jump that hurdle, you keep him under 300 pounds. My God, what are you thinking, you fucking fools? Linebacker Damon Clark. It was a quiet spring for Clark, and that may honestly have more to do with media interest than anything Clark has done. There's so much fascination with Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, and rookie Jimmy Rolder that Clark has fallen a bit into the background. Clark still has a good chance to make the roster, but during team drills, it was Rolder making a couple big plays in coverage while Clark gave up a touchdown during an end-of-game scenario. I would put in parentheses here, not in pads, in shorts. OTAs. This is not game speed. Not to take away from Jimmy Rolder, but I'm sure that if pads and game speed were going on, the guy who's been and done it for a while might have a little bit of an edge to the one-year starter in Michigan. Do it all I'm saying. I'm just, trying to temper their expectations. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. That way you can get up to that 900 subscriber mark. Cornerback. Excuse me? Terrion Arnold? Excuse me, sir? I shouldn't be seeing you on this list. Why? Why are you on this list? Oh. Sounds like excuses, bud. Sounds like a bunch of excuses. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and put your big boy shitting pants on and realize that this here is a grown man's game. And if you want to get paid, you're gonna have to go ahead and pretend to be a big boy for a little bit. Then, okay, you know what I'm saying? Every moment that Arnold isn't on the field, further developing his game, is another step towards losing his starting job. This spring, Arnold estimated his health at 75 to 80% after 2 shoulder surgeries, and so he didn't take part in any team drills during practice, where the media was present. Hopefully, he'll be closer to 100% when training camp rolls around, but even if he is, the Lions coaching staff says he'll enter a competition for the starting job, and justifiably so. If I do say so myself, you just can't keep your dirty little dick beaters off wide receivers when you're on the field. And that's exactly the point. When you're on the field. What have you done for me lately, bud? Quote, it's just about competing. We've got a lot of good guys in that room, and he knows this. He's got to earn it, Campbell said. Yeah, well, Rock Ya-Sin's going to take that job from you. Compare this to last year where coaches and teammates were singing his praises. It's clear Arnold will have to climb himself out of a bit of a hole here. Yeah. And look, I'm going to be honest. I want to root for you, TA. I want you to do it. But brother, I'm going to need you to get your happy ass on the field. And this is the problem, dude. This is the problem, TA. If it was 1 year, whatever. Focus on just getting on the field and playing ball. If it was year 2 and it was just getting on the field, staying healthy, get your happy ass on the field. The problem is here, bud, is you're far enough down your career track. I shouldn't have to be asking you to be doing 2 things now, but because you've been kind of lacking in these 2 things, I'm going to have ask you to put on your big boy sheeting pants, work a little bit of overtime, and take on 2 things at once here, bud. I'm going to need you to go ahead and keep your dirty little dick beaters off wide receivers, and I need you to get on the goddamn field. Okay? Get on the field. Keep your hands off of wide receivers. Pretty simple, bud. There. Lickety-splickety, how we doing, Mad Hatter Nation, before we button up and get up on out of here now. 20 minutes until the NBA draft. Detroit picks at 21. Hell yeah, dude. Would you hold out any hope for Enos the Penis? I am holding out. I am hoping that Enos can. I do. I would love to see that story, dude. You know what I mean? Love to see him take the job, dude. Come back healthy. Crush it, dude. Crush it. Discussion for comeback player of the year, dude. Discussion for all pro out of Enos Rakestraw. That's what I'd love to see, dude. Why not? Why not him? Is it going to happen? Well, history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, but probably not. But yeah, I'd love to see it have happen. I'd love to see him usurp the role from Terry Arnold, dude. You know what I mean? That'd be dope, bro. I would like to see that. Translation, Hassanin is fat as hell, but he can move. Hell yeah. Rock Ya-Sin will probably surpass him. Also, he probably will avoid injuries. That's exactly. Bro, Kane, that's exactly it. Not only is Rock Ya-Sin proven that he can play at the NFL level for, 5-6 years now, he can also stay healthy. He can also keep his dirty little dick beaters off of wide receivers. And as we've seen last year in the preseason, we can cross-train him at safety if you absolutely need to in a pinch. I think he's a pretty solid tackler. I think he's aggressive. I think he's stronger than TA, dude. I'm not yet saying it, but there will come a point. If this train keeps going down this track, there will have to have a conversation about TA and the future of him being with the Detroit Lions. But that's a conversation for another night, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to stop by and drop a comment while our organization is targeting a return training camp. The unpredictable nature of his injury leaves his availability for the upcoming season somewhat uncertain. Team's approach. Safeties coach Jim O'Neill emphasized that the team's plan is dependent on his health and that they plan to hold him deliberately once he is physically able to begin practicing. Bring him along deliberately. Gotcha. Are you talking... Kirby Joseph is dealing with a lingering degenerative need. Damn it, dude. Not what I want to hear. Not what I want to hear, guys. What's up, Sam? Good to see you, man. Hey, man. Just, you know what, dude? It's all good for being late, dude. Just go back and watch the replay. And drop a comment, dude. Hey, guys, if you're watching this afterwards, drop a comment, man. I don't mind. I like to try and comment with you guys, dude. It's fun. It lets me know that you're still out there, even if it isn't in the morning, dude. But we're making the best of it here at the 7 to 8 p.m. time slot. A little bit of prime time. We're actually going to mop up, dude. I'm telling you, guy, you want to be here now? You want to get in now, all right? Get in on the ground level now, because I'm telling you, dude, we're about to blast off come the regular season. We're going to take all those pregame hours, dude, all the pregame Mondays and Thursdays, dude. Let's Go, fellas. Have a good rest of your night. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Until tomorrow at 7 p.m., I'm James with the Hat and Beard Show. You've been an attentive audience. A bonga bonga. Frig off.